So, about a year and a half ago, I think, or maybe as much as 2 years, which is wild, I started talking to Marissa about Midday, which at that time she was just calling it, she's like, this thing I'm doing. I'm trying to get classes accessible to people so that people will actually come take class. You should come. I know you've been looking for something, some way to get dancing more and be able to kind of try out different things. You should come. And she was a customer in a cafe that I was working at. And we became friendly, and because she's such a sweetheart, this is an advertisement for Midday, and it's also an advertisement for Marissa, just for the record. But we became friendly, and after she invited me to come to Midday, I finally made it out to one of Michael Figueroa's classes on, I think it was a Tuesday. And, he was gonna laugh if he sees this, but I just fell in love. I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is like everything I've wanted. It's athletic, it's weird, it's fun, it's not overly formal, but it's challenging. Like, I loved that there was a space for me as someone who has some training, but I'm not a conservatory dancer. I guess I'm technically a professional now. I've been paid for a show, but I am not a full-time professional dancer. But I feel really interested in having some intellectual underpinning of what I'm doing, and getting a chance to work hard in a way that isn't codified necessarily, and isn't just kind of recreating the structures of power and over formalization and institutionalization that politically I want to get away from, and also aesthetically and artistically I want to get away from. So I just feel really lucky because I got this amazing opportunity to join in a space like that with people who also cared about all of those things, and who really cared about creating a community space where we were all learning together. And that's the biggest thing that I've gotten from Midday. So that's something that I think everyone should really know about that, about this amazing program and the kind of space that has been made in Boston in the dance scene as a result of having that space. So I think for me, it sounds a little bit hokey, but quite honestly, it's been life-changing to have that community built, and to know that there are other people who care about growing the contemporary dance scene in that way, in Boston, in a way that feels sustainable and feels healthy and doesn't necessarily rely on grant funding for everything, but actually is in a lot of ways grassroots. And so for me, that's why I love Midday.